Good afternoon, my dear students. Hope you all are fine. So, recently we are discussing with the oxidation reduction reaction, and today I want to discuss about the electrolysis. So, electrolysis, you know that due to the passing of electricity in presence of the electrolyte in solution, there will be breaking of the salt, and that is that is deposition of the different thing or metal in the electrode. So this is the phenomenon of the electrolysis, that is breaking or changing of the electrolyte present in the solution by means of force or basically energy, that is electricity. Now today I specifically explain or discuss about the Faraday's law of electrolysis. Student, this Faraday's law of electrolysis is very much important, not concerned in this semester, but it will be required for your higher study and other thing, because these are the very fundamental thing. If those students who are will take the specialization of the electrical engineering, then they have needed this Faraday's law of electrolysis with great importance. But for mechanical, civil, and other engineer, yes, this law are also needed, because this is the combination of the two things, that is one of the solution, that is solution of the electrolyte, and also another part, that is electricity. So therefore this is very important for engineering student, and for your marks, yes, every year one or two question generally come in your final examination, maintaining or from the zone of this electrolysis. And Faraday's law, yes, it is very important. So you know that already, that I am Dr. Vishwajit Gayan, your chemistry teacher, assistant professor, Department of Chemistry, Dr. Sudhir Chandrasood, Institute of Technology and Sports Complex. So student, now we are entering to the details of the Faraday's law of electrolysis. So there are two laws. One is called Faraday's first law, and another is called second law. So Faraday laws of electrolysis, there will be mainly two laws: Faraday's law of first law and Faraday's law of second law. Then there will be lots of mathematical problem, and which is practical related, that means which we will face every day. So this is the picture of Faraday sir. Now, what is Faraday's first law? Faraday first law. So before I discuss the first law in details, I want to give you some preliminary idea about the electrolysis, solution, and this type of the thing. So during his work, he studied that the electrolysis of salt is quantitatively, because if you pass a particular amount of the electricity, then the particular amount of the electrolyte will be deposited in the electrode. And he also found during electrolysis, quantities of substance deposited or liberated depends on the following factor. What are the following factor? So again I am saying, during the electrolysis, that is the passage of the electricity, the amount of the deposited electrolyte or liberated material will be depend upon the following three factors. Number one is the current, that is amount of current, that is quantity of current. Number two, that is duration of current, that is how long you will pass the current in the solution. Another thing, that is the charge of the ion which are present in the solution as the electrolyte. So the charge is very important. So now we are coming to the Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Here he stated that the mass of an element liberated or deposited in electrode, that is amount of an element liberated or deposited in electrode during the electrolysis process is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity. Now quantity of the electricity can be replaced by or represented by Q. Again, Q is equal to CT, that is C is the current and T is the time. So the amount of the element or sometimes some other thing will be deposited or liberated at the electrode will be directly proportional to the quantity of electricity. Is this clear? So now, if m is the mass of the amount of the substance deposited or related, then obviously m will be directly proportional to the q. Now again, q is the here they denoted the current by I or L, but normally we represent the current by C. So here M is C into T. So we know that we can write a equation, that is M equal to ZCT. So student, I again request you, please replace L by C. So now here Z is a constant. So this is called electrochemical equivalent. Student, please remember that the mass of the deposited material will be directly proportional to the amount of the electricity passes, and which is basically C into time, that is C is the current and T is the time. Now this proportional equation will be equal, then we have to use a constant. In that case, constant is Z, and this is called electrochemical equivalent. So we know that equivalent weight, but this is not directly equivalent weight, but it is called electrochemical equivalent of the substance. So here these are the different thing, that is if you take C and T is equal to 1, that is current is equal to 1 ampere and time is equal to 1 second, then c and t value will be 1. So ultimately m will be z. So if you pass 1 ampere of electricity and 1 for 1 second, then the deposited amount will be z, and which is called the electrochemical equivalent. The unit of the quantity of the electricity is called coulomb. I have already told you. Coulomb is the quantity of the electricity. Again, this thing that I have already told you. And larger unit of the quantity of electricity is called Faraday, and 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulombs. It has another practical value, so I will discuss later. So another thing, that is the quantity of the substance which is deposited when 1 Faraday of electricity is passes through an electrolyte is called gram chemical equivalent. So this is the actual equivalent weight. So if you pass 96,500 coulomb of electricity through a solution, then the amount of the element or the matter deposited on the electrode is equivalent to the gram chemical equivalent of that element or of that compound. Now electrochemical equivalent. So electrochemical equivalent of a substance may be defined as, I have already told you, I will explain it. That is the amount of the substance deposited or liberated when 1 coulomb of electricity, electrical charge, is passed through the electrolyte. So I'm extremely sorry. This is electrochemical equivalent, and that we have already discussed. So this is the, when 1 coulomb of electricity will pass through the solution, then the deposited amount will be is same to the electrochemical equivalent. So this here is the numerical problem. So here the problem describe that 0.5 ampere of electricity is passed through a solution of the copper sulfate solution for 1 hour. Then you calculate the amount of the copper deposited in the cathode. So here are the different value. That is the electrochemical equivalent of the copper is this, that is 0.00329 gram per coulomb, and this is the thing. Now here the current is 0.5 ampere, time is 3600 second. So Z of copper is equal to this, that is it is replaced in kg per coulomb. Then W is equal to Z into CT or AT is ampere. Now 3.294 into 10 to the power minus 7 into 0.5, that is ampere, and 3600 second. Then we will get, that is 5.929 into 10 to the power minus 4 kg of copper. So ultimately by means of the 0.5 ampere of electricity passes through the solution for 1 hour, then we will get copper at the cathode electrode of 0.59 gram. So very little amount of the copper will be deposited on the electrode. And yes, very calculatively and specifically we can deposit a particular amount, or we can dissolve a particular amount to the solution. by using this Faraday's law of electrolysis. Now, second law of electrolysis is a very useful, and this is related to the chemical equivalent of the electrolyte, because this law is related to the chemical equivalent. Now, according to the second law of Faraday, he stated that the masses of different substance deposited or liberated when same quantity of electricity is passes. Suppose we are considering the two other solution, then if we pass the same amount of the electricity, then the deposited material will be proportional to their chemical equivalent masses. So very simple. Suppose we are considering solution 1 and another is the solution 2. So in a particular solution there is a copper, and another solution there will be gold. So now the deposited amount of the copper and deposited amount of the gold will be proportional to their chemical equivalent weight or masses basically. So we can very easily we can write that is W versus E. So here not the final form is present, but yes, it is true for the second law of Faraday, because W versus E. E means electrochemical equivalent. So this is the second law of thermodynamics. That is now this is your direct problem, so I will not go details in your direct problem. So again I have already told you about taking some example. Here they are considering the example like silver, copper, aluminum deposited on their respective electrode would be directly proportional to their chemical equivalent masses. So according to the Faraday, if exactly 1 Faraday of electricity, that is equal to 96,500 coulomb of electricity charge is passed to a solution, then the equivalent amount of the silver, like for silver it is 108 gram, will be deposited. For copper it is 31.75 gram, which is the equivalent weight of the copper. For aluminum it will be 9 gram, because for aluminum the charge is very high, +3, so deposited amount will be low. But in case of the silver, the charge is +1, so deposited amount will be high. Now equivalent mass of element will be equal to the atomic mass of element by valency of the element. So from thus the current, that is 1 Faraday of current, charge obtained the name scientist, because thus Faraday is defined as the quantity of charge which deposited liberated exactly 1 gram of equivalent substance. So we can say in the another version, that is, if one equivalent weight of a particular substance is deposited on the electrode, then 1 Faraday of electricity is needed. So if we know the equivalent of weight of a particular substance, then if we see that one equivalent weight of that substance is deposited in a particular electrode, that means the current passes through the solution is equal to 96,500 coulomb. So this is inversely we can say. So when an aqueous solution of the copper sulfate is electrolyzed, copper is deposited at the cathode. So here are the mathematical problem, that is by which we can determine the how much amount of the uh, current is processed through the solution. No problem. That is another numerical problem. So if you just go to this problem and solve this, and if you face any kind of the problem, yes, obviously come to me and I will help you, obviously. So there will be some multiple choice questions. So student, a compound whose aqueous solution is deposited into its component when electricity is passed through it is called non-electrolyte, acid, salt. So obviously your answer will be electrolyte. The unit used for the quantity of electricity in SI system is quantity of electricity, so it will be Coulomb. What mass of a calcium is collected on cathode when 1 Faraday of electricity is passed through its solution? So first we have to know the equivalent weight of the calcium. So actually the atomic weight of the calcium is 40. Now calcium are mainly dipositive, so the equivalent weight will be 20. So the mass of calcium will be deposited 20 gram. Very simple thing. So thank you very much student for your kind attention, and you feel free to come to me, and I'm ready to attend your question, and I will help you for in any concern of the problem. So thank you again for your kind attention and for this class. Take care. Thank you.